Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Hey guys, welcome back to What You Reading. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Delize. Welcome back. So this week we are reviewing A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually a part 2 episode because the episode was entirely too long. So we are just going to continue from where we left off in the last episode. If you're not sure where we left off in the previous episode, just go to the podcast page and go to the previous episode, which is A Court of Mist and Fury Part 1. Or you can just click in our show notes and the episode will be in there as well. All right, so let's get into it.
So her and Asriel?
Amrin?
Her and y'all, the names get me every time.
There's a lot of names that sound very similar.
Yeah, her and Amrian.
I honestly got Amrin, Asriel, Ianthe. I got all of them confused. They're not the same person, but they just are so similar in name. Ianthe started with an I.
I know
but
more. I know more.
More, right. More is just, she just stand out on her own. I
mean,
Amrin
personality
too,
and everything.
Yeah.
So her and her go
Amrin.
to this go to this like little castle. It's like a part of the castle, but it's not like connected.
Yeah.
In my head, this is how it was. It was in the middle of the ocean.
But okay, before we get there, so she finds out about this place, but it puts a lot of doubt into Tarquin's head because he's like, "Why are you pressing me about this like so much?" And so he starts to doubt like what her intentions are. So she's been really honing her powers a lot. So she finds out about the Damati, and the Damati are able to people that hop in your head and like different things. So she put something in his head that's like, no, you're fine, everything's cool. So he's like, he kind of lets it go. But had she not done that, they was about to be like, their whole plan would have been foiled.
Right, but he don't understand that because that place has been over there so long, ain't nobody even been in it.
Right.
So her and Amrian, what is her friggin' name again?
Amrin.
Go over there, get there some kind of way. They get there, right? We're sitting over there doing his thing, okay? He's doing his thing. He's playing his part. And they over there, they get in there, they start looking for stuff. The books start calling her name, where it starts saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" Like, they don't know who you is. So then she kind of shape-shifted, which is like Tamlin's power into Tarquin. And she started talking like them. And that's when she got that book. So then she got that book, and girl, the water just started slamming into them out of nowhere, pushing them and locking them in the room and stuff like that. They barely got out.
Because that book knew she was a liar. That book was like, you a liar, girl. I know you ain't talking.
Yeah, it kept saying liar.
Yeah.
Liar. She like, shut up. So they got the bull. They got out of there, almost died. But guess who saved them? The water wraith. Because the water wraith, the sisters remember. And they got up and they was on the sand, deep, breathing and spitting that water. And then the water wraith was like, my sister's debt is paid.
Right. Peace.
Right. And she like, thank God I gave her that jewelry.
Yeah. People throughout this, I'll say it at the end. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, so they got the book, they got out of there, and they seen Rasan, and they was like, what was you at? Or was it Cassidy and Ezra that came and got him?
No, it was Reese.
It was Reese.
Yeah, he was like, hey, I had to knock out some people, and then they left immediately. They went back to
He was like, y'all got the whole thing alarmed.
Yeah.
Alarmed, like, people going crazy right now. We got to get up out of here. So, poof, they was out of there.
They ain't say bye. They ain't say thank you. They ain't fold up their sheets, like, put up their towels. They just bounced.
Right. He really should have just killed all the cars. He didn't want to kill them, but that's what he should have done.
Or erase their memories, because he could do
Yeah,
that, but he didn't.
Reese was getting sloppy, but remember that Reese was under that mountain for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so then they got back to, I don't know if they was in a, yeah, they went back to
Polaris.
Valeris or whatever, and then they were celebrating. They was happy they got their jump or whatever. However, saying they was they were getting closer and closer, or they went to bed or whatever. She woke up the next morning, honey. They had a price on their head. So they had already found out about they did, and now Tarquin, which was very nice to them, has a bounty on their head.
A red ruby, wasn't it? A red ruby?
Oh, is that what it was? They sent the red ruby to them. Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
A death ruby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they got those.
And it was so sad because, like, Tarquin had explained that he just really wanted to be his friend.
I know, and he's like, I probably could have just asked him for it, but I just couldn't risk them saying no and also asking more questions than needed. But I'm like, you could have. Homeboy was really down to be like with you, so you probably could have just asked him for it, and everything would have been fine, and
And
he would
she
have
told
helped.
him that.
Yeah, she did, and it probably would have helped them in their efforts to build a bigger army to take care of what was ever to come.
Right,
But
right.
he had his own little ideas in his head, so.
If you guys don't remember what the war is that they're trying to not prevent, is that they're trying not to have a war with the moral people. And the king of Highborn is trying to get all the human people to be slaves again, honey.
They want to take down that wall.
They want to take down the wall and let them do what they normally supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're saying is trying not to do, because
Right.
honey, he don't like that. That's what he was fighting for originally. They already had this war. The wall went up there originally, and then now the King of Highborn is coming back, and he's trying to get that wall down.
Yeah, because one of the things that was mentioned was that they were trying to come up with the idea of having everybody be equal. So they didn't want to have like the high fae and the lesser fae, because that was what they were kind of going with at the moment, and they didn't want to have like human and not. They just wanted to let people be, and so that's pretty much like you were saying what they were fighting for. And the
Mm-hmm.
King of Highborn wasn't trying to have none of that.
Not none of that. And he was jilted too. He felt
Mm-hmm.
jilted too because of
Mm-hmm.
his love. You can go ahead and tell him a little backstory if you want to.
Wait, King of Highborn, is that the one that was dealing with what's it call it? Merit? No, that's Jorian.
Oh, was it? Okay, well, then I got them mixed up.
Yeah, that's Jorian who. Okay, so but it's important because Jorian was gonna be the one he was bringing back. So if y'all remember in the first story, Amarantha had that ring that had the little eye in it. That was Jorian's eye, and apparently, if like he was able to, because that ring disappeared after everything that went down under the mountain. Well, apparently Homeboy had it, and so he was using that to bring Jorian back, because I guess he thought Jorian was going to work for him so that they can take care of whatever they was going to take care of, because Jorian had beef with, what was the girl's name? Meredith? No.
There's
Meredith?
something with an M.
Yeah,
Martha?
somebody, and her man, which I forgot who her man was, but he had beef kind of with them, so
Mhm.
kind of, because yeah.
No, I ain't no kind of he did.
I mean, yes,
Oh
in
boy,
this,
saw his girl.
yeah, I mean, in this part, yes, but like in the other one, he doesn't actually have beef.
Mm.
Um, but so yeah, so that's kind of what happens with them. So, I forgot where I was going with all that.
You was
Anyway,
just telling kind of the
oh, the
backstory.
backstory. So they get back, they have that on their head. Farrah's kind of like, I mean, it is what it is. I told you probably could have asked it for it, but it's fine. She's not really too bothered by the fact that that's happening. She's like, maybe once we get the book. So they got the book, thinking that Farrah was going to be able to read it. Opened that bad boy up, and it was in an ancient text. That text was something that was from like the first group of people or something like that was on the world. like them.
Like a first billion years.
Yeah, the first them that like they lived there. Like that's whose language it was in. It's like ancient text.
Yeah.
Amarin could read it, so Amarin was like, "Hey, this was meant for me. I'm gonna go ahead and read it." So
Because she the oldest hoe out here.
she is. She's lived a life. Homegirl is
Right.
not who you think she is. She's lived a life.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, well, I haven't studied this language in forever, so I'm gonna have to brush up on it. So she goes and pretty much hides away in her little apartment and tries to to study the language and also to read the book. So she's like doing that majority of the time. Reese and homegirl are getting closer. She's training with Cassian, but there gets to be a point where they talking about, hey, we need to go to your sister's place. She's like, I know y'all. Is that too far?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so they're like, we understand y'all haven't really talked like that, but we need to kind of see if we could use their space so that we can communicate with these queens, because we need to see if we can get the queens on our side to help us with something too, because they needed the other piece of the book.
Which I really feel like they really was very they didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they had to do all that either, but I was just like, it was
I
entertaining.
mean, really, he could have just really just killed them hoes.
He could have, but it didn't
But
make.
then I guess it will be kind of like defeat the purpose of trying to save them too.
Yeah, and because it is extremely important in the next book that they're around. So, um, not all of them, but yes. So anyway, they have to set up this meeting with the queen. So they try to do it at the house that Farrah's sisters are at. So she goes over. She's like, they try to. She tries to talk to them. They're like looking at her crazy because she ain't been around, and she also now Faye, and she wasn't Faye before. She's like, hey y'all. So what happened was I died, and Marantha killed my ass. So I'm back, and we kind of need your help. Like we need this house so that we can have a mutual like ground, so that we can talk to these queens. We're gonna send some letters. How do y'all feel about it? And they were like, I don't know, because homegirl's sister, which I didn't realize that Elaine and Nesta were older than her. I thought Elaine
Yeah,
was
she's the baby.
I thought Elaine was the baby. I didn't realize
No,
Farrah
girl,
was the
she's the
baby.
baby. This girl was 14 years old out there in these
I did
streets.
not even realize that until like
Mhm,
I was like, dang, she was the baby. Anyway,
mhm.
so her sister Elaine is engaged to be married to this king or prince or whatever.
Lord, a
Yeah, a
Lord.
lord who hates Faye. Like she got
Yeah.
an iron ring on and everything. Come to find out, iron don't do nothing. But it's like she got this iron ring on. But she like, you our sister. We gonna help you out, girl. She's like, bet. So
And Nesta like, what y'all cut him for? Ain't nobody got to do it somewhere else.
that's the always she always her and what's we call it. I can't wait to see their story.
Lucian.
No, not
Oh,
yeah.
wait, don't say nothing because I don't know nothing about who she made me.
No, I don't either. But I have an idea.
Who you think is gonna be Casey?
Potentially, yeah.
Because Cassie be like, she got that smart mouth.
And I think he loved that. But it's either going to be Cassian or it's going to be Azriel.
Ezra. I don't know, because it's weird because Moore had this thing going on with Buddy.
Yeah, but Moore got a whole other story too, girl.
Okay, because it do specify that Moore said, no, I'm not messing with neither one of
Yeah, she not pressed. She is not
them.
pressed.
Okay,
Homegirl
okay.
got her own thing going on. So I'm curious. I guess the fifth book is Nesta's book.
Okay, so is this next book gonna be Elaine's story?
I don't know whose book. The fourth book is a filler book. It's like this thin. It's just a
Oh,
filler.
really? That's a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, it's a really really thin book, and then the fifth one is a big. It's a thick book, but that one's Nesta. So this one is just, I guess, some
She wrote that filler book just to hold them over.
did because there's not much to it. Um. So yeah, but so they have that conversation or whatever, and she's like, "We'll figure it out. We'll reach out to the queens. We'll let y'all know." So they go back, and as they're waiting on the queens to get back to them, the queens eventually are like, "Yeah, cool. Like y'all can come out." There are some freaking the one
Girl,
I
the
didn't like them.
attitude
The
that this old
attitudes,
lady had.
girl. the attitudes were just unnecessary. Like, girl, she's like, so what y'all need? You want us to help? She's like, yeah, like, you didn't get our letters? Yeah, we read them or whatever. They was cute. Like, so you gonna help us or not? I don't know. You gonna have to prove to us that we should be able to trust you. And they're like,
No, they
girl,
was like, first they was like, no, why we helping these people? Like, we rather go ahead and let them be the sacrifice.
right,
And that's when Nesta got mad, and she was like, so you want to sacrifice us in this town
right,
when they're trying to help y'all?
right,
And she was like, yeah, I'd rather sacrifice y'all than the whole kingdom.
right. Which was messed up because it's like, okay, girl. So
Hmm.
they eventually come to this understanding of being like, okay, well, we may help you, but we're not really sure yet. We need to have some type of proof that, you know, that is important or valuable to y'all.
Yeah,
Homer,
because when that one Moore was there,
mm-hmm.
and Moore was like, I am the Morgan.
Yeah. She's like, I'm the
The
proof.
Morgan that fought with your ancestors, not
Yeah.
even y'all.
Yeah. She's like,
Your ancestors.
we here, we in this thing. And they're like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. And the Pharaoh's like, hey, I'm proof. And they was like, yeah, we don't care about that either. We need something else.
And they knew who she was.
Yeah. And they was like, we need something else. We know about you, girl. But like, yeah, no, that's not going to cut it. So they was like, okay, oh, wait, whatever. So they leave again.
Hmm.
Reese is trying to come up with some things to figure out like what they about to do and all this other stuff. He comes up with an idea of what he gonna take. He's like, all right, so the next time we meet these queens, we're gonna let them know what's up, blah 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 blah. So they're like, okay, cool. So they end up
They
meeting
were
these
mad
queens.
too.
They was
Our girl Favor was mad, boy.
girl. She was
She
like,
was
don't
so
do it.
mad.
Do not do it. They was like, all right. So this is what they ended up doing, which we have to tell this side story. They had to get an orb in order for this to work. The orb came from the Court of Nightmares, which is Moore's daddy and stuff. They had to go in there to get this orb. So Azrael and I think Cassian were the ones that go steal it, and then Farah and Reese were playing this role where she was his pet. And so she's sitting on his lap and doing all this other stuff.
Like, this was a sexy
It
scene.
was a sexy scene. And I think his name is Kyrian or Kier or something like that, which is the king of the night court or whatever. Um,
So let me just really quick give you a backstory of why we don't like him. Okay.
okay, yeah, go
Because
for it.
we didn't talk about this. So the king that's there, or which I don't know what he doing. Why is he even there as the king?
I'm not really.
Like, why y'all allow that?
Well,
I guess because to be the cover up,
yeah, probably.
but they don't like them.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the Court of Nightmares, Moore's daddy and family still are like over that court. Reese is really over the court, really. But he allowed them to kind of do their thing, and it kind of run itself too. And so what happened with Moore is they was trying to give more because with women don't mean nothing. Okay, women are nothing. She's high born, but it's still nothing. They was like give her to whoever, a high lord. So she was supposed to actually go with Lucian's brother, which I don't remember his name. Well, what
Barry?
Moore did
No, that was his
was,
dad.
honey, you ain't finna decide for me. So Moore went out there and just slept with who she wanted to sleep with, so she could not be a lady.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she got back home, they smelled it on her. Because they can smell when you're a virgin. They can smell when you lose your virginity and when you have your period. They can tell because they be trying to. Once you have your period, that's when they're trying to get you
Mm-hmm.
out. So they smelled that she was not a virgin no more. Tossed her out to Lucia's brother. It was like, you can have this girl because we don't want her. And Lucia's brother was like, why I want her? She used up, honey. And so they threw her out, and that's basically they treated her like trash.
Yeah.
And that's when that's when her cousin Rasan came and got her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've been at Valaris. So she runs Valaris really.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. So the Kier or Kieran, I think it's Kier. Anyway, his ass was doing the most, but also not doing enough. but he was watching them the whole time, and so they're putting on this huge show so that they can distract him. And he's saying stuff to her. Well, he ends up calling her a whore, and Reese wasn't having that. So he
He was
ended up,
like, take it back.
yeah, take it back.
That's
You need to apologize. And homeboy was like, I'm not apologizing for shit. He was like, say less. He started breaking his bones in his hands and started doing all types of stuff to him.
I can see Rashawn doing this in my head.
Yeah.
It was breaking his bones.
Yeah. So he's like, next time you open your mouth like that again, I will kill you. Like, it's not going to happen over here. So he was like, all right, say less. So more, he told more like, take care of him. Make sure he get better. He gonna make it.
And he better not go see a healer.
Yeah, he said he cannot go. He need to heal the natural way.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, all right, bet. They get the orb that they need and they leave. So this orb is going to be the thing that they use in order to take to the.
Which, let me say this: why y'all sneaking around the night court when you the king of night court? Couldn't he just go get that orb?
I don't think he could. I mean, he could, but like they still had rules in regards to how each kingdom was court was set up, and I think they had to still obey those rules, even though he technically wasn't.
Just his court.
But I mean, yeah, technically that was his court. So I don't know.
Because remember when they first got there, the daddy didn't even say hey to his daughter, and he was like, "Where he at? Mm-hmm. Where he at? Where he won't?" Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, y'all just need to be ready for him when he pop up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that boy was sitting on the throne.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So I don't know why he didn't just go walk up and get it, but they had this whole little recon mission to go get it. So they did. They grabbed it and they left. Moore, this is kind of a side note, it's just funny to me. Moore went back to go make sure she was helping her dad heal or whatever, but he had pissed her off, so she like messed him up a little bit more too. So it's taken him a little bit longer to heal than expected. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of funny. But all right, so now they have this orb. They finally get another meeting to go with the queens, and so they take this orb with them. They meet up with the queens and they're like, well, do you have your proof or what? So because Reese had sent some more letters and they're like, yeah, we got your letters, cool, great, whatever, but like, where's your proof? So Moore puts this orb on the ground and they're like looking like, all right, girl, what is this you about to show us? Farrah the whole time is freaking out because she's like, please don't do this is about to be real bad. Farrah has actually been spot on damn near every time. So she's like, this is about to be real bad, but you know, and he's like, I got this, we got contingency plans in place, whatever. Okay, fine. They, in the orb, they see Valeris. So this place that nobody knows about, that's been hidden for years and years and years and years and years and generations of people, they are showing to these queens. So
yeah, because we forgot to mention y'all that Valeris has been hidden.
It's not even on the map.
Yeah, Reese went and under the mountain, and they ain't know nothing about Valeris. Mm-hmm. So Reese went under the mountains as a sacrifice. He went under there, and all they thinking is that he's the king of the night court. So all them night court people was under the mountain with him.
I know they was mad, like
it's messed up. But you know that daddy never did say, where is Morgan?
You're right, he didn't.
But they was under that mountain, honey. While Moore, Cassia, Azriel, all of them, Amrian, they was at Valeris. So Valeris been protected the whole time. So that is like, literally like, the kids laugh and play in Valeris. And that is unheard of.
Yeah.
So that's how protected and hidden it was.
Yeah, it was hidden very well. And so I'm trying to remember if that was in the third story or the second story when he tells why, how all that came to be. Was that in the second story?
What do you mean?
So he ends up telling Farrah, it is the second story, and I just remembered why. Okay. I'll get there. So they show Valeris to these queens and they're like, oh my gosh, this really exists. It's not on maps. Nobody knows about it. Like, it's been protected from everything. It's beautiful. Everybody's living happily there. It's warm, like everything. So they see this and they're like, okay, yeah, we're still not going to help you, And so then everybody gets upset or whatever. But there's one
Girl, I
queen.
was mad too.
Girl, me too. Me too. Me too.
Because how they was talking to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we still ain't gonna help y'all.
Yeah, we're not
After
gonna help.
all of this, we still ain't gonna help y'all.
But thank you for giving us some extra tea because we didn't know that. So
Right.
thank you.
And that's when Nestor was like, you need to listen to them. Y'all being some petty bitches and
Yeah.
not listening to what they got to say.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
Mhm.
then, who's this about to be a long episode, girl? I'm about to make this into two.
Okay.
Because this is we're almost at an hour, and that's just from this go around of recording.
Right.
We had already
They
done
should
like
get off and come back.
yeah, because we still got a lot of story left.
I told you when I was like, girl, it only do an hour, so.
Yeah, we do got a lot of story left. I don't know. We've been cut off a couple of times, so maybe it'll be okay. We'll see.
All right, well, we can keep going, girl. So it just turned off. We just better remember where we at.
Okay. So yeah. So then she goes to. So then, so they're like, yeah, we're not gonna help you. So everybody's upset about it. Well, there's one queen that kind of she understood what was going on and she saw what was happening. So the queens leave, and Reese is kind of
Oh yeah, because they need that book.
they needed the book, right? So Reese is
Right.
kind of quiet, and they're
Oh, they have
like,
the book.
yeah, they were like, okay, why is he not that upset? And he looks and he sees that the queen left the book there, and so she leaves a note that's like, hey, got your letters, totally believe what's going on. I'm glad that you guys, here's the book, but you're gonna take this, even though I gave it to you, you gotta act like we're gonna just say that y'all stole it. Also, the sixth queen is not actually sick, so don't trust these other heifers because they lying like shit.
Basically.
Pretty much. So they're like, all right, cool, we got this book, great. So they take that back with them. So there's that part of it. There is a part, I'm trying to think, when she gets stopped by the adder, is that before all this?
Um,
Oh, it is
they
before all
get
this.
back. They get back to Valaris and like just living their great life. And then when it about that time when her Rasan was like going somewhere, and then Rasan got hit.
Yeah, but the adder part happened before because they were waiting on they were waiting at the house with Nesta in them. But that's not super important. So we'll just say this: the King of Hybern knows that fear exists. We'll leave it at that, and then go ahead from where you're talking about, where he gets hit with that
So
stuff.
yeah, one night, I don't even remember what they were doing, if they were going somewhere or just like I think they were just kind of talking and like they were like starting to fall in love at this point. And so he was fine with her. He was like, I gotta tell you something. And she was like, what? As soon as that happened, how I know they wouldn't be able to get that out?
Girl, it
As soon
happened.
as that happened, he get hit by some ash arrows. Ash arrows take fate out. You hear me? So them ash arrows knocked him down. She like in panic mode because she falling, trying to get to him. So she started fighting. Like they don't even know where them ash arrows coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
Mm-mm.
So she ended up finding Rasan. They like go get ducked off in this like cubby. Is that right?
You know what? I think this is. Are you? Is this when they? This is not when they attacked Valaris, right? Because that happened right
No,
after.
because remember that Rasan has to heal and she give him blood.
Yeah, that was. I feel like that was before. I mean, I feel like that was after Valaris was attacked. Oh no.
Or is it wow? Is that how they figured out they was under? I don't
Oh,
remember.
maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were under attack, and that's how they figured. Because it happened like right after. Like they told them about Valaris, and then like the next like couple of days they were attacked.
Right, but they killed the people, right?
Yeah, they
They
got.
ended up getting that was attacked. But at this time, honey, Rasan was suffering. Okay,
Yeah.
and they were very far off. And so they end up finding, she ended up getting him finding a like cave or something, put him in. And she was like, I don't know how to heal this man. Like, I don't know what to do. So she was like, I guess I better go out here and catch a, what do you call
A
them?
cereal, cereal, cereal.
Surreal, yeah. So if you guys don't remember the surreal in the first book, when you catch a surreal, they first of all they do not lie to you. They cannot lie. But I think they have to answer a certain amount of questions, right? So she ended up asking them how can she heal Rasan, and she told him how to heal Rasan. She also told her that was his mate, and she didn't even know about that. She like, what? Go back now. What you say now? Say what now? And she was like, oh, you ain't know? You his mate. Like, who else can he be mated with?
Now, this is
You
the
are,
thing that irritated me. She was so upset. I cannot believe
baby,
you
she was
didn't
so
tell me.
upset.
Why would you not let me know? The whole time. And I'm just like, girl.
This man is dying. Can you heal him first?
Can you give it 10 minutes, please?
Right.
Like,
So she get back to the
I just need
cage.
time.
Yeah, the lady tell you got to give him a mouthful of blood. You know what I'm saying? He'll be all right. So she got back in there. She got an attitude. Yeah, drink this. Drink my. Yeah.
Take this. Yeah, I don't want you to die or whatever. Here.
So she gave him that blood. He was like looking at her like, girl, what's
Pissed.
wrong with you?
Pissed.
She was like, what's wrong with you? She was like, I don't want to talk right now.
I just need
So she let him get a little bit better. And then she was like, when was you going to tell me that I was your mate? When was
Why
you going
didn't
to
you
tell
let
me?
me know? How long you been knowing that I was your mate and you didn't even let me know what was going on? And blah 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 blah. And he's just like, you was engaged to a whole nother nigga. Like, what do you mean?
Girl, I had to make sure you wasn't in love with that other man still.
And what was I gonna do
I
about it?
mean,
Because
he
you was
said,
head over
I love you
heels.
so much that I was going to allow you to get married to
I
somebody else
know.
because I wanted you to be happy.
He said, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to think that I was trying to play with you. He's like, I want you to come to that decision on your own. Then he went into the whole story as to why and when he found out and everything like that. And like, in short, he knew early that that was his mate. And when she became Faye,
Did he know under the mountain?
he did. There was a point when under the mountain he found out that he realized that she was his mate, and it wasn't until she that's why he fought so hard for her to be brought back to life. And it wasn't until she became Faye that it like clicked in finally. So he was like, yeah, that's my mate. Like, that's who I'm supposed to be with. That's why he didn't break the bond. Because he was going to break the bargain, but he ended up not, because he's like, this might be the only time I see this girl.
Right.
So he ends up telling her about all that and why everything exists and all the backstory as to how the mountain happened. And he tells a part of it, which was actually kind of cool, where he's like, Amarantha she ended up siphoning all his power off, and he still had a little bit of power left. And in all that little power that he had left, he used it to shield Valaris and all the people that were within it. With that little bit of power, he cleared everybody's mind from the Night Court, so they didn't even realize that that Valaris was there, and anybody that was at Valaris, they just didn't know what was going on. He sent a message to Cassian, Amarin, Moore, and Azriel to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's about to go down. I don't know how long it's going to be while I'm here, but this is what's up. And that was that. But he says he did all these things to kind of hope for a better life and all that. So it was just this long story. But anyway, he pretty much was like, I love the best out you, girl. So you my mate, and now you upset. She's like, I'ma just need some time. So she goes to the house in the hills or in the wind or whatever. He go down, I guess, to somewhere other place. And they don't talk for like a couple of days. And then...
Yeah, because she told Moore, she was like, I need you to take me away.
Take me away. Don't let him know where I'm at. Don't let him know where I'm at. But this is what got me. Instead of her apologizing and realizing like, hey, I probably was just being a little extra, she tries to come out here with an attitude. Oh, so you gonna be you just gonna disappear and sulk? Oh, so you just not gonna show up? You just gonna act, girl? You literally told this man you needed time.
Right, right. She was gone too. She was gone in that little cabin doing the most. Moore took her to a cabin that they all knew where it was at, but they were not to know where she was at. She was in there painting their eyes and doing the most up in there, girl.
Yeah.
Got back and still had that attitude.
Why did it take you so long? He's like, I had to. So by this point, they found out because they had that incident where he got hit with them ash arrows. They found out that they're tracking Reese's magic. So he's like, I can't use my magic. So he got to the place that she is at by foot.
By foot.
And she was like, what took you so long? He said, hey girl, they tracking my magic. I had to come here the old fashioned way. You're welcome.
Right.
I'm fine.
Right.
She was so rude. So we're just gonna hop into. They have the book. I'm just gonna hop straight to the end, if that's cool.
You going straight to the end?
If that's cool. Do you have something else you want to say before then?
Nope, girl. Go ahead with it.
Okay. So near the end of the book, there is a time where they need to go to. Their plan is to destroy the cauldron. That's
now in the cauldron in your mind. What is the cauldron?
So in my mind, it is an actual cauldron. Like it's like a big
like
thing.
A
Yeah, with like, pot. But it's huge. Like it's pretty big that it's not
That's
able
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
moved.
How big is this?
Yeah,
cauldron?
I see it as like it's like a 3 foot by like 3 foot around cauldron with those little feeties. Maybe.
Can you imagine? And it's boiling.
And I just feel like the liquid inside is like black or something. I don't know. But so there's this cauldron. They're like, they know about the cauldron. They have these books. They're like, okay, we're going to do everything. This is our plan. We finally can get everything out. We're going to destroy it. And then like, that's going to be that on that. So they get there, they get in, they're around the cauldron, and Farrah does what Farrah does best. And she's like, well, I think I'm going to go with a different track on the plan. So let me put these 2 books together. After they done told this girl, don't put these books together. She puts the 2 books together. Right, but the
books are saying, put us together,
and she's like, I think I should do that because I'm actually part of the books. And I am going to be the one that control them. And they're like, yes, girl, do that. And they're like, no, don't do that. She does it. So
I don't think she could control herself though when it was happening.
I don't think she could either because she was having a weird reaction to it after.
Yeah, all this powers happening. She was like blacking out.
Yeah,
all this stuff was happening.
Yeah, so she got that going on. So they put the books together. That whole thing happens. She's out. She's down, and they're like, "Hey, girl, like wake up." So by this point, they're still there. They only had a small time frame that they were supposed to go, and now they're stuck. So the first person that popped up on the scene, Jorian, and they're like, "Oh hell, here his ass."
Yeah, they like running up the steps. They was like rolling. They running up the steps. He like, "Where y'all going?"
Yeah, where y'all going? Y'all might as well just come back down. It's fine. We're just gonna have a little chit chat. Like we're gonna just talk real quick and see what's up. And they're like, oh, "Crap." So then they have a little chit chat. Then the king of Hybern, he shows his ass up and he talking mess. And then when then who else pop up? Tamlin pop up. Lucian pop up.
Girl, when Tamlin popped up, I could just see the white.
Girl.
In her face.
And Tamlin popping up was wild because first of all, Lucian found her at some period in the book and she was like, tell his ass to leave me alone. This is stalking, and I'm real tired of his shit. Like, I'm good.
But she kept saying, he won't come for me, will he? Because she wrote that note to him, y'all, in the middle of the story. It was like, I'm good. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, don't look for me.
This is where I'm at. Don't look for me. Mm-hmm. And so in her head the whole time, like people would talk to her, and she was like, he won't come, though. He won't come. He got too much stuff going on.
That man was trying to move heaven and earth to get to that girl.
And I forgot because we didn't even talk about the part where Lucian came out.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like briefly was like hopping over where she saw him and she was like, tell him that I'm not coming back. He was like, come on with me. She's like, no, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
So
he was like, wait, what he do to you?
Right. And she's like, nothing. Y'all are tripping. Like, I can just.
She was like, tell him if he come back, I'm gonna kill y'all if y'all come back.
Right. It's gonna be a problem. She had by that point she had started winnowing a little bit. She was able to do a little She juked him real quick. So now you got Tamlin, Lucian, all of them, and King Hyrule and Dorian. So they're like, this is not looking too great. So Tamlin's like, hey, I got them here. This was part of the plan. So like,
And they looking at him like, for real?
right, like you really sold out your people
You
for.
working with him?
Yeah, like that's really out of line to get her back. That's crazy, but all right. So then the King of Hyrule was like, "Hey, that's wild," and thank you, but there's a little bit of a switch, and he brings out two more people, and it is Nesta and Elaine. So now, now you got Nesta, Elaine, Tamarind, Lucian, all the others. They all there, the King of Hyrule, and it's about to be some mess. So they got the cauldron, and they got them, and he's like, Tamarind's like, wait. We ain't agree on all this, and he's like, Tam, all is fair. Like this is what we didn't discuss anything past that. That's on you. Like you're bad. You should have really thought this more carefully through.
Right.
So now Farrah's like, this is crazy. So she's like, oh crap, like what y'all about to do? So then
Tamara literally like, stop this.
Yeah, and he's just like, there's not much I can do. So then they got the queens. The queens pop up on the scene, and he like, we gonna show them that this cauldron works. And they're like, who you about to use? They looking at the sisters.
Right, because they want eternal life.
They want eternal life, and they want all that great stuff because they are human.
But I don't understand what y'all want eternal life for, but y'all don't want to be fake, because that's the only way you're gonna get eternal life.
Right. That's it.
That's weird to me.
Yeah. So they toss Elaine into the cauldron.
Yeah, and this is what killed me, because girl, they made her get in that boiling cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
She was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine having to be forced down in a hot? And to me, it was like you said, black. To me, like oily, like this boy. Oh goodness, I was like, listening to that part, it got me.
Girl, I was like, oh my gosh. So she get in there, she pop out. She's like
talking about cruel and unusual.
Girl, homegirl, she was real strange after this, but I understand why. But she was real strange. So she comes out. She's alive. She made it. So they're like, "Oh, great! This is okay." So
that pot turned over to the side and spit her back.
Right. It was like, okay.
It was on the ground.
Right. Thanks so much for your time. Move on. Now they did the next one was Nesta, and Nesta was not going in without a fight. Homegirl was not playing.
Nesta was fighting because I imagine her going under the cauldron like this.
That's exactly when they said that she had a finger up at the king. I was like, she was giving him the finger.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, oh, they was probably talking like this, but I'm like, no, she was like, going down.
Going down in that cauldron.
Yeah. So she go down in that cauldron, and she down there, and then she come out. But the cauldron's a little bit off after Nesta come out. Nobody really know why. So then the queens are like, oh my gosh, this is great. By this point,
they felt, but Fabra felt, they felt it.
Yeah, they felt the shift, but they didn't know what the shift was. So they like, okay, well, we got to get out of here. Like, stuff is getting wild. Like, it's not looking good. So she's realizing that she may not be able to go back with them like they had all planned. So
yeah, because they was trying to do some old crazy, stupid, crazy stuff, but she was like, "Oh, what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do?" And that's when she came.
Yeah, because they had a shield over them, like not like an actual shield, but they had like a field so that they couldn't winnow out. So there was a part where, not Nesta, Farrah ended up creating like a little hole for them to get out, and so she was like, "Y'all gotta take my sisters." Like she's like, she does this thing where she gets this bright white light around her. And she starts to act like, oh my gosh, where am I? What's going on? And she's like,
and baby, that mate,
girl,
he was like, how'd you do it?
How'd you do it? And I was like, they knew. They was like this. They was like this.
Yes, I love that part. Because he was like, how you do it, Farrah? How you break that?
They was right in sync. I was like, I'm glad, because I was so scared when I was reading that. I'm like, he gonna think she really left him, and I hope he don't think that. But so he said that to her, and then Sharon's like, oh, Farrah, are you coming home with me? Blah blah. Lucian like, Side eye like a mug, like, I don't really know. But all
She
right.
was like, "I'll go in. I just want to go home. No more death. No more nothing. I don't want this no more. Break the bond. Break
Break
the
the
bond. I just want to go
bind.
back home." And Tanner was like, "What? No, no." He was like devastated. You could
Oh,
tell.
Reese. Yeah, Reese. It's
Yeah,
Reese.
did I say?
No,
Did
you
I
said
say?
Tamlin. I was like, Tamlin?
Oh, I'm
Who's that
sorry.
one? No, you're
Yeah,
good.
so Rasan was like, no, 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 we're not breaking. She was like, break it, break the bar. And then Tim was like, yeah, do it. And they was breaking that bar, honey.
It sounded painful.
Yes, it was so dramatic.
It
It was
was.
so painful to her.
Yeah.
And then she told Rasan them, get my sisters out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So they willowed out, took the sisters, and they were gone.
Mm-hmm. And then
And
homegirl.
he,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, and we didn't mention that when Nesta came out, not Nesta, Elaine came out, she went. What you call Lucian was helping her get up and was like covering her up because I guess they came out naked.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, so he covered her up and they made it. So when they willowed out and took them, he was like, "Find my mate, go get her." But they weren't paying her no attention. They weren't paying him no attention.
And they don't ever.
Mm-hmm. And so then, she pretty much was like, "Okay, y'all can go on your merry way."
She
The king
said,
was like, "Go on your merry way," and that's what they did.
she was like, they left, but she was like, you will, what she's telling him? She pretty much was like, I'm going to kill you. That's what she did tell
Mm-hmm.
him at the end. And he's like,
Just like Nesta told them queens,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill y'all.
And so then, I'm trying to think. So then at this point, the queens see that everything has happened, and now they're fighting to get into the cauldron. And Farrah is living pretty much back at the spring court as a double agent. That's where it ends.
Yeah, to the next one.
That third book, girl.
Listen, I already started it, but I had to stop.
Girl,
Okay,
it is so
and I'm
good.
so happy that I get to start it back.
Girl,
Okay?
it is so good. It is so, so good. So much happens in it. You're about to be listening to it like the whole time. I'm about to re-listen to it again. It is so good.
Oh, you already listened to the whole
The
thing.
whole thing, girl. I have listened to it like a couple of times.
Because the way that meme was set up was for me.
Girl. I saw it. I started laughing. I was like, "This is hilarious." She's
Oh,
gonna
that was
appreciate
so
this.
funny.
But yeah, girl, it is so good. So much stuff happens. What I was gonna say about this story, though, because I said I'll say it later. I really like the fact that during the time that Farrah was with Reese, she really was starting to find herself and like really get her voice and stuff back, which was crazy because she had been that person before, but then like being under the mountain, it had really like messed her up. So her being back with him was really like bringing that out of her, which I thought was really cool, and I'm glad that they went that route for the story. I also like the fact that Farrah was just a good person. And she tried to do right by people no matter what the situation was. And because she does that in the stories, it has worked out pretty well for her in getting her out of some crazy situations. And that's with the water race. That helped out, and you see it happen like some more times in this story, but also you'll see it happen a lot in the next story. So yeah, you see that happen a lot because she just does right by people in all the books, and it comes back around. And you're just like,
Well, she's favored the curse breaker.
she's the curse breaker, but she's also just a good person. Like she just she wants to do right. So she treats people with respect and really makes sure that they're good, and
That's
works
why
out.
Nesta be getting on my nerves the way she talked to her, honey, because I'm going to need you to take it down 10 notches.
Girl,
I'm tired of you always blaming her for this. When really,
it's her fault. Why are you letting your little sister doing all this stuff? Why did you let your little sister starve and have to be the one that went and searched for stuff for you? I mean, they do end up talking about that later on, but still, like, why do you make her do all that? And now you treating her like shit. She kept y'all alive.
Right.
Also, we need to bring this up too because it is important in the third story. The family's been doing really well. The house that they live at was like really nice, but the dad's on like he's away on business.
Baby, that daddy been gone the whole time.
Yeah, he's gone the entire time. He's away on business, and he's doing well in his job and stuff like that now. So, but he's away on business. So, just wanna. I can't wait for you to listen to this story. I cannot wait for you to listen to this story.
I ain't got super far.
It is so good. Once you start listening to it, you're gonna blow through it because it is. You're gonna be like, I need to know what happens next. I need to know what happens next. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, you hold your horses and do not purchase that next book.
Oh, I'm not. I'm actually gonna just re-listen to the third book, and I have the physical other book. Since it's so small, I'm gonna just read the fourth one. So
how you feel about this?
I like this one a lot. I kind of.
So what's your rating from girl to girl?
So my rating for this one is girl. Like it's getting there. Like the first one was like girl, but this one's like girl. But that third one,
Girl.
it's one of them girl. Girl. I know that I know that one about to be, and that fifth one I know is about to be crazy. But that's what I give it. What do you give it?
I actually really love this version. It has so much packed into this story. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I did.
I listened to this story a total of 3 times, and I still don't remember a lot of stuff because there was so much in it. But I love this. I hate Auntie. I don't know where her bald-headed self came from, but she need to go back. I don't like her. But I love Feyre. I love her relationship with Stan. I hope it get better with Tamlin because Tamlin went crazy. But we'll talk about that in the next story.
Yeah.
You know, I hope that Tamlin find his mate.
Yeah.
Don't tell me if she did. Don't say nothing.
No, I mean in the third book it's not there, but I have some. I have some ideas.
Tamlin find his mate, and that he understand her instead of just being angry at her for dipping on him.
Yeah. He's petty for a long time. Yeah, he's petty for a long time. But
yes, he's a big old baby.
Yeah, he is.
But I write this up, girl, because that's what I was doing in her book.
Yeah, yeah. You guys can follow us on our Instagrams, our TikToks. YouTube videos have been uploaded. I've been uploading them, and it's been nice.
I see that.
We still have our TikTok and all of that, so you guys definitely go and check out our stuff. We will start doing some different types of lives soon. So
so we're going to pick a story, guys. It's probably not going to be this line of stories. It's going to be a shorter story than this, but it's still I'm gonna really look through stuff and really pick from there. If anybody knows something, throw them out to me, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a live listening. So it's kind of be like a listening party almost, but just being live when we listen. So we're going to be commentating and talking together. So y'all come on in for this. It's going to be so much fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, thanks guys for joining us. The few that have joined us and stuck around. I think it is just us, but thank you for tuning in, and we hope everybody has a good night.
Bye.
Bye.